And
What up? What up? Is RJ Fantasy Football talking? We are back for another week of RJ versus the kids. Hey, we try to teach the kids we don't care about these kids. It is what it
hey,
is.
whoa, whoa, whoa. We care about the
Hey, we
kids.
love the kids.
Yeah,
We love the kids.
yeah.
But let me tell you something. I don't let my own child win, so I don't want these kids to win either. But I'm writing this J.
Yeah, so that's we gotta go straight to it since you already starting with the trash talk. And if you joined us last week, you know my sister was there here with us. And so once again, we welcome Trista, not just Miss Byrd, because I got called on that the
Thank
last time.
you.
But my
Miss
sister
Bird.
Trista is up there, and we're gonna talk some picks. And I don't even know why it's showing already, but we're going to
I can't get my head to work right.
yeah. Well, we're gonna do what we did last week. What we for those that aren't aware, we've been picking these playoff games, uh, and you know we are slightly winning this competition with the kindergartners. We've got 5 picks correct during the playoffs. The kids have 4. This past week we had 0 correct. We're not gonna point fingers on the R and J show on why we didn't get any of them right, but
Hey, you got look. We don't we don't have to sugarcoat
no,
nothing
no,
around
no,
here.
no. It's a
No, we don't.
team.
We don't.
We're a team, but
Okay, so what happened? What happened? What
Trade the
happened?
sugar for
Yeah,
something else, please.
uh,
look, you don't sugarcoat nothing right here. First of all, I was trying to be a loyal 49ers fan and say, hey, I'm
uh
gonna pick
huh,
my guys this week and I'm gonna stay loyal. I should have picked against them because this guy named Purdy always want to do something stupid,
right.
But we're gonna talk about that later. But it is what it is. We lost. Okay, it is. But again,
We're
the
happy.
kids still losing. So it don't matter. We still gonna beat them. Love the kids though.
Love the kids. So
We
let's
can't
jump.
say it don't matter because that's not how education works.
Right.
It
It
don't
does
matter.
matter.
It
So
it
my baby
matters.
beat y'all.
Yeah,
My
we
baby
lost
beat
to
y'all.
we lost to the kindergartners last week. Way to go
Nah, man, they
them.
kicked my colors. Who
They
Y'all
kicked my
are
colors?
not
Who
smarter than kindergartners.
kicked my colors,
Woo-hoo!
man? Like
so
she's talking about what color you want to pick, green or red? Oh, we gonna go green. We gonna go green.
well, colors work. Welcome Orlita Lewis to the show, and apparently King is saying hi to me. Uh,
Hey, King!
hey, so we can get our teachers to bed where they belong before the next school
Because
day.
I'm sleepy.
We're gonna start right off with the AFC conference championship. We've got the number 1 seed Broncos versus the number 2 seed Patriots. Um, Rodney, no,
No, we can start
no.
with
We're gonna let this. We're gonna let they won last week. We're gonna let
no.
the
We can
kindergarten
start
class
with Miss
start off.
Bird. We can
I
start.
hate the Patriots because they did too much. That was a team that ruined all of our Super Bowl parties.
They
I hate
did.
the Patriots. Let's go.
Well, you hate the Patriots, but who did the kids pick?
The Broncos because it's orange.
The- yes, the kids.
No,
Not
no,
because it's no. It's not just because they're orange. It's because
I'm
the
telling you what
kids
you're doing,
know.
Jay.
I tried to tell them that I hate the Patriots, but they were not listening to
Yeah,
me. So
but they
I'm
picked the.
sorry.
But
They
they
made a
picked the
bad
Broncos. No,
choice.
they
I told them no to the
and they
Patriots.
didn't. They picked the Broncos from what you sent me.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So
They did not listen to me.
you don't think it's a good choice? Look,
I think
Broncos.
it's a wonderful
The
choice.
Broncos were my pick last week because the Broncos
I
had the better
hate
defense.
the Patriots. I hate them. I'm
Okay.
sorry. So no, it's
All
not
right.
a good choice.
All right. So the kids picked the Broncos, not the Patriots. Is the point, Rodney? Who are we picking for R&J Fantasy Football
I'm
Talk?
picking New England to win this week.
And why are we picking
Because,
New England? Not is it because the colors?
No. See, around here and
See,
now
there you
Jay.
go, being shady. There
No,
you
no,
go.
no, no.
There
Wait,
you
wait,
go.
wait, 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 wait. Around here and Jay, we
Uh-huh.
spit fact over fiction. We don't
Okay.
pick colors. So I'm just saying, Miss Byrd. Because I can't call you by your real name because I ain't your brother. I'm just saying.
Why not? You
Yeah,
can.
I'm calling you Miss Byrd. Miss Byrd. You know. So we
I
gonna
am
pick.
not coming on this show anymore.
You're more than welcome to come back. But I'm just saying, we're going to pick New England because Denver lost their starting quarterback. So they're playing with a backup. So it don't even matter. And New England is going to destroy it.
Not just any backup. They're playing with Jarrett Stidham, who used to
This
play with the Raiders.
Raiders. You
Uh,
know them well.
I will say this: in his first
So
game,
you're really bringing the Raiders up in this
I'm going to
conversation?
bring the Raiders up in any conference. I got to. I'm gonna talk.
Man,
Look,
she is really new to the show.
yeah,
Isn't she?
I'm gonna talk a lot of Raiders later in the show. So if you don't go to bed, you're gonna hear me talk about the Raiders probably nonstop the rest of the night.
49ers and Raiders
Because
come up and Chiefs come up every show.
because look, the Raiders got something for everybody. We may not win a game next year, but we got something coming down the pipe that's gonna be beautiful. And if you watch the college championship game, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
You sounding like Trump. It's going to be beautiful.
It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be the greatest. It's gonna be the greatest game of football ever played. We're not going down this road.
Why did you even started? Oh my goodness, y'all don't even.
All right.
I'm about to shut down this show.
All right. So Miss Bird's class has the Broncos. Rodney and I have the Patriots. Let's go to the next game, which is in the NFC conference. And that one we got the Rams versus the Seahawks. And I'm just looking at Tristan wondering which way her students went.
Okay, one, I did not wear my jersey because Herbert said you have not worn it all season. You're going to jinx it. But I just went with the colors and I wore my hat. But yeah, Seahawks. My baby's doing with the Seahawks. They going all the way.
So I just got one question, Miss Byrd. Just one. It's a simple question.
If it's not about colors, don't be coming for me.
It's not about colors. I just want to know, did you purchase that jersey last week?
No, I've had that jersey for
years.
Okay, did you not listen to my story the last time when they won? I've had that jersey for 5 years.
So what name is on the back of that jersey, Miss Byrd?
Russell Wilson.
You bought that from the thrift store yesterday. So they have them in the thrift store.
You know what? I'm done with this show. I'm hanging up. We're done talking. We're done talking.
The fans want to know, because we're real fans.
No. Russell Wilson's dad,
his grandfather.
Granddaddy.
His grandfather.
That was
the president
so I've been
of
following the Seahawks forever.
But I did
But not forever. But no,
last week for like $20. You could have
$20. That shouldn't be more than like $10 at this point.
I paid a lot of money. No, I can't pay. But my husband paid a lot of money for a Russell Wilson shirt.
I believe it.
So I've been in this game for a long time. Don't be coming for me.
You bought that hat last week too. That hat wasn't there last week.
I didn't because Herbert told me not to jinx the team. If I got to take it off because he said I was going to jinx the team, so I'm taking it off.
Oh my God.
But don't be coming for me.
No one understands each other's personalities tonight.
Right. It's crazy to me, right? You know I'm crazy.
Apparently, I have to be judged.
So you should not feed us. Like honestly, if you watch the show, I do this and I just feed.
No, you're being Rodney, JJ's being JJ, and Trista's being Trista, but none of y'all understand each other's personalities. That's where the comedy lies. Cause y'all just battling with each other so unnecessarily. It's crazy.
Producer, can we see the producer?
Can't see the producer.
Yeah,
it's all good.
the audience saw the producer. And hey, Carla, welcome to the show. This is Complete Madness.
I can't see what's going on. What do I need to do to see what's going on?
Oh no, I would have to adjust.
You would have to. You're not gonna see in that room. But if you watch on YouTube later, you'll see Sydney. She popped up. She'll pop up
Sydney,
again later.
that's not true, Sydney. I am being myself, Sydney. That is true.
I know.
But I don't think she understands that I am really.
No, none of y'all. No,
look.
that's the thing. None of y'all understand it. I know everybody's being themselves, but no one understands. It's a thing. Never mind.
I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Cool. I'm cool.
I'm
cool. We good, Rodney.
I'm
We good.
I'm gonna say we're picking the Rams, and I'm gonna tell you why we are picking the Rams.
Whoa, what?
No, I'm gonna tell you why. No. You're picking the Rams. I'm agreeing with you because we're on the show together. But here's the reason why we're picking the Rams.
No, why?
Because the Rams kicked the 49ers butt up and down the field last week, and your boy is just jealous and mad about how good the Seahawks are. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the Seahawks are my pick to win the championship, but we're a family. And so if Rodney's hurt over the Rams, then I'm going to be hurt too.
Also, but wait. Another thing is her kids pick Seattle. So we got to go pick the opposite team so we can beat them. We have to beat the kids. Not the kids, by the way. But we have to beat them.
That works as long as the Rams win.
You wanted to beat kids. Sounds like we need to call CPS.
Not with belts.
Don't do that now. We ain't doing that.
There are no belts involved, no switches.
How did you turn so quickly? Hold on.
This is just a pure sports related butt whipping, you know.
Yeah,
The kids had it coming.
Trying to get this to turn really.
I'm just saying.
She's trying to get me locked up, y'all.
Oh man, we turned really quickly. Oh, and by the way, me just hollering in the background is how the show started too.
Yes. There's a lot of things that are going on as usual. We don't have fantasy football to talk about, so we're just gonna act the fool talking sports in general. So,
Hey, that's why you got me on the show. Okay, see, now I'm hanging up.
So just to recap, we're up 5-4. The kindergartners are right on our tails. If we get our picks right, we're good. If we get them wrong, and it's all Rodney's fault, then the kids will be in the lead next week. So we're going to see how this works out. But thanks, Trista, for joining us. I know you want to get to bed, so you can be ready for those kindergartners again. Tell them we said hi.
I ain't got to be ready. I'm good.
You can tell them we said good luck, but it wouldn't be true. We hope they get all their picks wrong.
That is definitely true.
It's the actual truth. But we do appreciate them every week.
That is totally disrespectful for the little babies.
So rude. You would think we'd be ashamed of ourselves.
I believe the children are the future.
Oh, Lord. Then we say goodnight.
Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Okay.
So
nobody's joining me?
No, we're not doing that one unless you gonna have the whole band Sexual Chocolate out here.
No, not
Randy Watson. You got Randy Watson. Then you can
going down episode.
That's my mama.
Not Randy Watson. That boy.
Oh no, not the going
not Randy
down
Watson.
episode.
Lord mercy.
Yeah, but that's all it's all. But thanks a lot, Trista. We appreciate you having on the show. We appreciate the kids taking time out of their educational days to make some sports picks with us. And
that is a big part. They are so excited when I do that.
I'm
They're
glad.
Like, they really love doing it.
Well, after this, we only got one more, and that'll be for the Super Bowl. I think we'll do double points for the Super Bowl just to make it interesting.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And then we'll see how we do. So thanks for joining us. We'll hopefully see you back not next week since there's no games, but the week after that, and we'll keep this thing going. But we will update. But we'll update everybody with how it's going. And remember, most of all, if we lose, it's Rodney's fault. It's not mine. That's generally the rules. Later, sis. I'll talk to you later.
All right, love you.
Love you too. Peace.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, Rod. So, we do have to make a comeback because last week we went 0 for 4. Which,
that's why we picked against the kids. That's why you got to pick against the kids. Okay.
So this week we're gonna go 2-0.
Yeah, of course, you got to.
All right, I believe it. Well, that's the game picks, but there's just regular NFL news. But before we get to the NFL news, since we wanted our producer to be on the camera, I think she has an announcement or something she wants to share with us if she remembers.
Okay. I was like, wait, what am I doing? I felt kind of on the spot, but I know what this is about.
What you got?
Fantasy football is over, and I can't say it sucks so much because of the championship I won.
You won a
and of course,
championship.
the championship, that my husband won. Sitting right next to me, I had to pick it
By
up.
the way, I'm not paying her to show that every week. She just chose to do that herself.
It's
but,
sitting right there, so I figured he wanted me to show it. So I figured, I show it again that he won.
Hey, because we broadcast from my man cave, and that's where the trophy is.
So it's there, and then if you want to see his name,
you'll see my name up there 4 times. By the way, you won't see anyone else's name up there that many.
There's his name right there. When he won.
You see Rodney's name up there twice, but it's on the other side because it's been a minute.
I'm not showing that side. I'm just showing this one.
The hate is real, boy. I tell you.
The hate is real.
The hate is
but
real.
Anyway, so every time I feature a cookie, and so I'm starting a new thing, and so I'm featuring another cookie. If anybody doesn't know, we're on a Daniel fast. Yay, Daniel fast.
That ends this weekend. I'm happy.
So in doing so, a challenge that I put to myself was to create a cookie that has no sugar, no animal products, so it has no butter, no eggs. It doesn't have any refined sugar. So this cookie here that we have, is it in focus? There it is. It's mainly sweetened with dates. If you've never heard of a date, it can be used for many things in vegan recipes for those who don't like refined sugar. It's a really good cookie. It's small, but it's really tasty. It's got like hints. It's got a little bit of orange in there, so you got a little orangey taste. But it's really good. It's really sweet. Hey, JJ, won't you eat?
Oh, I've been popping this cookie since before the show started. I've got very little of it left. It's actually really good. It reminds me almost of like a Nutri-Grain kind of bar, chewy ones, but fruitier.
Yeah.
It's good.
But this is
fruit and nuts.
The cookie I'm featuring. I'm saying this all because I'm starting my blog back up, people. So those who would follow me, this is kind of like I'm predating the check because I ain't wrote the check yet. And if I wrote it now, it would bounce. So soon coming to curlybrownbaker.com will be how I made these cookies and something new that I don't ever really do. I made a video of how I made it. I don't do videos, but we're in the world of videos, so I must. And so.
I like how you're holding that cookie up over your face like the entire time.
I know, but I think it's really cool how I'm doing it, though. But be on the lookout for that. And in the future, fantasy football's still going to suck, so there'll be more cookies and probably something else to come. So.
Fantasy football does not suck because we both won championships.
No, fantasy football.
But believe me, it will suck come next season because it always sucks at some point.
Football always sucks. Like fantasy hockey right now. No, like fantasy hockey right now sucks.
Yeah, fantasy hockey does suck right now. We'll see.
Thank you.
All right.
Does it?
so that's that. But there was also a lot of news in the NFL in addition to that game. Do you want to talk about the games first or anything in particular from the games, or you want to go straight to the news? My guess is you want to go. Well, I don't think we can both talk about news quite yet. We're having a little issue with you gone for a sec, but then there you go. You're back. Before we knew, I do want to say one thing about the game. There was a lot of good stuff happening in all those games. But in particular, I want to bring up some play, and this might be a combination of news and the games. Starting with the AFC game between the Bills and the Broncos. How many turnovers? Yeah. Josh Allen had like 4 turnovers, I think, in that game. Yeah. And they lost. There was a bit of controversy in that game where there was a interception a pass thrown to Brandon Cook, and a lot of people are arguing whether it was an interception or was it a completed pass and the refs got it wrong. What's your opinion on the call?
Well, what's weird is that same exact play happened the next game. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I think it was incomplete. I think they got it wrong, personally. But some of these refs, especially in these big games, they try to kind of, I guess, be the center of attention, if that's the right way of saying it, and they want to kind of make that play. But I feel like I think it was an incomplete pass. But I do want to say this though: did not call Buffalo firing their coach if he didn't win.
You
Called
actually
that
did.
last week.
I was gonna bring that up also.
Um, I do want to talk about that though. But I do think it was a bad call. As far as him losing his job though, I called it because, and honestly, I ain't mad at Buffalo. I feel like he's been there 9 years. They haven't, and honestly, if Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow was in the playoffs this year, he would have never got fired. Now, the
Mm-hmm.
only reason he got fired, I think, because none of those guys were in there, and this was the year for them to win the Super Bowl. Especially
Yeah.
with none of them being there, and a lot of it's weird because the press conference came out today, and it was kind of like throwing him under the bus, essentially.
Yeah,
As far as like
McDermott, you mean
some of
they threw
the
under the
decisions that
bus?
being made, yeah, like some of the decisions being made, um, as far as like even Coleman, Keon Coleman, like
Uh-huh.
that's a weird situation going on. Like they're saying some of the roster
Yeah.
decisions is on the coach.
Keon Coleman, who has been a bust by most measures. The owner
Yes,
was out there today, Terry Pagula, saying that that was a coach's decision. They're the ones who was
that was
pulling
the
for
coolest
him.
decision.
Yeah.
But why would you, after all of that, like literally, he has to come back next year and be on the team, unless they plan on cutting him or releasing him or trading him,
It ain't a
which
good sign, right? when
it ain't a good sign. But I just think it's crazy. You throw, he's a second year player, and you throw him under the bus in the
mm-hmm.
media. Woo, it's kind of crazy. Now we did this thing last week. What coach will um, take the job, or what coach
Mm-hmm.
will fit with that team? What coach do you see fitting with that team?
Ooh, I'm trying to think
Bad.
who is left out there right now. Um, we saw a bit of move. Who let's see, Harbaugh's up in with the Giants.
He
Uh,
does.
we we
Giants, yeah.
we already saw the Titans stole the coach I was shooting for. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The audience can't hear you in the background just just because you're not technically there. Um, now I lost my train of thought. But who's out there? I don't know. Who do you got? They could go with. I would think. I
I'm gonna
think they
put a
would should
name
go
out there.
maybe a defensive mind because maybe that's the issue. What's your name?
I don't think I don't think that's the issue. Um, I really think they need wide receivers. I think wide
Well,
receivers
yeah.
their biggest problem. But that's fixable, honestly, if you can go out there and get one. But I'm gonna throw a name out there that a lot of people not even think about, and I'm gonna say Bill Belichick.
You think he
Him
leaves
and Bel-
college?
I think he does, like, because he has an out in his contract
Yeah.
now, which is like, I think is $1 million he will have to pay back or whatever. So he has an out, so where he can come back and coach in the NFL. But I think Bill Belichick, as I think he,
Hold up. Keep going.
I think Bill Belichick has a
Yeah. Hold up. We got some background stuff going on. Yeah, keep going, Rodney.
So I think Bill Belichick, just to play against the Patriots twice, and the way he went out as a Patriots coach also. But I think playing against the Patriots twice a year, I think that will bring him joy. But I also think that will bring stability to that team because I think he'll kind of bring some players will want to come play for Bill Belichick. Even even at his age, I think they still want to come play for him. So I do see that being a great fit because to me, it's no really good coaches left out there unless they're young offensive coordinators.
What about a
Or
return of Mike McCarthy or something like that? If
I
you
don't
don't
think McCarthy.
if you don't think defense is the answer, and they stay with an offensive minded guy.
Um, I just don't think McCarthy fits what they do. I think he's probably going to take that Cleveland job, if anything, or either that Pittsburgh job. Um, because the Pittsburgh job to me fits him better because of what they're putting out there as far as Aaron Rodgers. Because the team wants to bring Aaron Rodgers back, and he used
Right.
to play for a long time ago. So to me, that's a natural fit if he does go back to Pittsburgh because he does know Aaron Rodgers. So I think Pittsburgh probably is the way he goes. I'm doing Bill Belichick, just because of the fact that he will bring that defense back. And obviously, we know Bill Belichick didn't have a great couple of years without Tom Brady, but he needs that superstar quarterback to be successful. Obviously, we know that. But
Oh yeah.
I think that's a great fit for him. And honestly, if you ask me, I think you call Bill Belichick and bring him back, get him out of college.
I actually hope he doesn't leave college. I want to see if he can get that thing turned around because it was I think a disappointing Belichick year, but I could see him coming back. It would be interesting for one seeing him coming back and coaching in that same division that he used
Mm-hmm.
to coach in, and see if he can take down Vabro and the Patriots. Let's hit a couple. I see kind of couple of comments out here. Um, Carla saying the fantasy football sucks because she lost. She was in that championship game,
Sorry about that.
and we're getting called out on the potential of doubling up Super Bowl points, because maybe that's because we're not behind yet though. So I think it's fair. We're actually giving the kids another shot at it, if we
Yeah,
double
yeah.
points. So we'll see.
Love Pops. Yeah, and look, we love Pops. I seen him this morning. But Pops, come on now. You know, we all about it's no shame in beating the kids, okay? It's no
Right.
shame in it. It's no
And,
shame in it.
and then one more on Josh Allen failing. You said you disagree with the call. I actually think the referees got that call right. Um,
I
uh,
don't
I think it was an interception because we always hear you have to maintain possession through the fall, and by the time they failed, the other player had the ball. So at least in real time, I understand completely why it was called an interception, and
okay.
for something that close, it's very hard to overturn in replay. So we'll see. But I will say that
But
no one in this
what I was
house.
saying
I
is
was
this
gonna.
though,
Yeah,
same exact play happened the next game though. Like that same exact bang bang interception play, and they called it an incomplete pass though. That's what I'm saying. Like you had two different refs, obviously in two different games, looking at it a different way.
it's
That's
subjective.
so it's like either way, it's subjective if you think about it. Yes, but yes, I agree with you on that.
But I will say in this house there was no one sad about Josh Allen losing that
Nope,
game.
not even a little bit.
Since that did come up in the comments, and we talked about the all the interceptions that and the turnovers that
Mm-hmm.
led to them losing.
Yes.
Another quarterback had quite a few interceptions in their game, C.J. Stroud.
Ooh.
Um, what do you think about that? There's been a lot of talk about the coverage of those two games. On one hand, people in defense of Josh Allen, and maybe not as defensive about CJ Stroud. Do you see those two situations the same?
Uh no, I don't. Because CJ Josh Allen's been in the league, correct me if I'm wrong. What is it 2008?
He's been in.
No, no, no. I'm sorry, no. 2000. What year did he come out?
I think he
I can't remember.
got drafted maybe he's been about 8 years, 2018, I think it was
No, Nick. So let's say
7, 8 years,
7 years, right?
7, 7 or 8, one of those two
So
numbers.
Josh Allen's been in the league, and the thing is, the biggest thing with Josh Allen is that he can't get over the hump because of
Mm,
the other great quarterbacks that play in the division, obviously, right?
right.
So that's the biggest thing. So he should be getting all the criticism that he's catching anyway. CJ Stroud shouldn't. And yes, CJ Stroud had a bad game. We get it. I understand. It's been plenty of quarterbacks that have had bad games, and nobody talks about it. I'm gonna give you a prime
Mm,
example. I had this conversation earlier with somebody, and they was like, "Look, Josh Allen. All they talking about is Josh Allen, Josh Allen. But is anybody talking about Brock Purdy and his bad play on Saturday? Have you heard one conversation about how? And the thing
right.
is, give or take the 4 interceptions that Josh Allen threw,
What did
Josh
Brock have
Allen
two?
also Brock had two,
Yeah.
but Josh Allen kept up in the game the whole entire game. We were done
Oh,
15
that game
minutes
was
in,
over.
personally.
Right.
So what I'm saying is you can't really get on CJ. And the thing is, they didn't lose by much. CJ, yes, he played a bad game, but he kept him in the game no matter what, all the way
Mm-hmm.
close enough to the end to where they still could win it. At the end of the day, yes, he had a bad game, but it's his third. This is what, third or fourth year. You can't really, like, what are we doing here?
This was
Like,
year three. Um,
so
my
what are we doing? Really? No.
right. Neither quarterback I think played well enough. Obviously, in that game, um, there's gonna be I think a lot more leeway for Josh Allen because for years he's been the Superman. He's carrying this team on his back, and he has no help from anybody else. I don't like the narrative, but when they give you that much credit, it's kind of hard to fault you when it because you can always point the finger. I will say to Josh Allen's credit, he correctly said that he let his team down. People came to his defense and said no, he didn't, but no, he let his team down with a lot of turnovers. I think C.J. Stroud probably did the same. That defense held as long as they could, but you can't ask
Yeah.
any defense to keep playing with those short fields from all those turnovers. Um, for me, they both get passes for kind of different reasons. But I will say CJ Stroud, fantasy football wise, and we had this conversation earlier. At first, I was
We
like,
did.
I think he kind of falls back a bit because you had one really good year. The last 2 years were kind of, iffy. He had good moments and bad moments, and it's hard to really say what he is in the future. But you reminded me that there's going to be a lot of injured quarterbacks to start the season. So while I think C.J. Stroud falls back, I don't think he can fall back too much because there's a
No, he can't.
there's a lot of quarterbacks that's going to be missing. So that might save him for fantasy purposes. Hopefully they
So
get their things together. He gets his number, like you mentioned, he gets his number one wide receiver back. Then hopefully his
yeah.
fourth year can be a much better year.
Well, I mean, I think he gets if he gets Nico Collins back. Also, he gets the receiver they got. He broke his leg, but ACL, MCL, some other stuff. um,
Yeah,
he gets him back, so he gets weapons back. And the thing is, a lot of
yeah,
people complaining that played bad when you're missing your number one receiver, and then your other receivers can't get off of a man-to-man coverage. Like, what do you expect him to do?
yeah,
And he's trying to make plays as best as he can. Now, granted, some of that stuff was on him, like throwing it up in the air.
yeah. That
That was
pass
unnecessary.
just threw like
Like,
you're
you got
too
to throw
good
that
to
away.
make that kind of a bad decision. You
Bingo.
take
You
you
got to
take
throw
that
that away.
sack at the worst. You take the sack and
Yeah,
move on to the next play.
yeah, but you don't throw that in there now. I that's all on him. Now, like actually trying to throw the ball down the field and them catching the interception, he's trying to make plays. I mean, Josh Allen was trying to make plays. All
Mm-hmm.
quarterbacks try to make plays. I mean, sometimes it don't work out for you. So I don't fault him on none of that. I still think, and I like what the coach said. I didn't plan on. I wasn't gonna bench him, so
Yeah.
the thought never came to
That
mind.
that that was
Then they
crazy
gonna
to me
stick with him.
that people were thinking that. I was like, you can't bench him. That's crazy.
But that's the world we
Yeah.
live in now. They want to bench the quarterback if he's playing bad, obviously. But and I think they're gonna pay him. Now I don't know how much they're gonna pay him, but they are gonna pay him. They say they are gonna pay that rookie, sign him to a
Mm-hmm.
new deal, which it all makes sense because think about it. You ain't drafting a new quarterback because the class ain't great until next year probably, and you ain't finding one because free agency ain't that great. So either way, you got to pay him regardless, whatever it is. So I'm not mad at that, and I think he comes back better next year. And they didn't have a running game, so that's
Yeah,
another
that's
thing that
another. They've got some issues they got to fix in the off season because, like I said,
the old line
that
couldn't
defense is Super Bowl
use.
quality. They need to get the offense at least on par with where the defense is, and that you can see that team going
I,
far.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Any other
I
game
do want to
stuff you want to talk or NFL news? What you got? What's on your mind?
talk some news. I want to ask you a question. Okay. What was I about to say?
I don't know.
So how do you feel about um? So John Lynch came out today and said that Brandon Ayuk has played his last snap as a 49er. Um,
Yeah,
so give me two teams that he could land on, and do you think he's finished?
I here's my Brandon Ayuk thing, and we've
Okay.
talked that a few times. Hold on, I'm trying to see. I'm hearing about a little something. Anyway, we talked about Brandon Ayuk, and my first thought on him is he should have taken that initial out when he had the chance, and he
Yes,
didn't.
I agree with you on that.
So if I see, I think the good places for him are really the ones that were there the last time he was supposed to be available. I like Washington, because he
Okay.
already has a connection with Jaden Daniels when he's back.
Good.
And then I would go. New England would be an option, but I actually think if we're talking about Josh Allen needs help, why not Brandon Ayuk going to the Bills, because that's a place where they could definitely need use a top wide receiver. Those would be the three
I
to
think
come
that's
to my
perfect.
mind. What you got?
Well, I think Buffalo definitely is one spot. I think Washington is one spot, and I would say I had a third team earlier. Um, the third team was who was the third team? No, it'll come to me. But I do. Washington and Buffalo are two of the teams I think he will be perfect at. And the good thing about what this whole situation is, you probably can get him at a great discount, which is about he's probably going to do a 1 year prove it deal, probably at about 10 million, 12 million, something like that, somewhere around there, just to prove that he still can play.
Right.
But I think a lot of people don't understand with that situation. I think it's deeper than just on the field. In all honesty, I think at the end of the day, I think it's a little bit more politics behind this whole situation, and I think
Okay.
he didn't get along with. I think they signed him to a deal, which is again, I agree with you. I would have took the New England deal. I would have took the Pittsburgh deal. Like New England offered $33 million for him that same year. I would have took that New England deal. But for me, I just feel like him and Cal didn't get along, and they didn't know how to use him because you have a quarterback that will have the strength to get the ball down the field because everything gets short. They want to throw everything short. So when he was open, he didn't get looked at. So I think that was part of the problem also. So I think it's bigger than football, and I think a lot of stuff. You know how stuff when a person leaves a team, then everything just start to come out. I think that's when that's gonna happen with Brandon. Like a lot of the stuff that went on in that locker room is probably gonna come out to say why it happened and when it happened. So I think it's deeper than football with it. I just think that it wasn't a good mix. And him and
Yeah.
Shanahan might have did something wrong to him and he didn't like it and it went from there. But I just think they didn't get along personally. I think it was a bad mix between both of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's obviously there was some problems going on there. So I hope in his next spot, wherever that may be, he can get together because I think he's a good wide receiver, but he's going through
Yeah.
a lot of the off the field stuff has me a bit concerned, uh, because I won't say names, but we've seen wide receivers have these off the field
Yeah.
issues, and they were indications of a lot more serious problems. So, hope the best for him, wherever he ends up playing.
I just
Yeah.
definitely.
Let me ask you
So we got
yeah.
what do you think? What?
Oh,
What?
I was gonna ask you about another NFL news, and we kind of hit on a bit of it earlier. There were some coach hirings that happened. Let's start with your guy, Robert Salah, who's going to the Titans. What you think about that?
Uh, I like it, and I think what they're excuse me, I'm trying to get over this cold, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what they trying to do, I think they trying to make up for their mistake by get rid of Mike Vrabel because they had a defensive minded rah rah coach
They did.
in Mike Vrabel that now they see New England's going to the AFC Championship game with that same coach, so they're trying to make up for the mistake of that. Now I think Robert Sala is going into a situation. I think he has the control. I think it's a better situation than the Jets. Obviously, he, Cam Ward is a better quarterback than anything the Jets had. So I think it's a positive move for him, and I think he was going to take a job regardless if it was Tennessee or not. So at the end of the day, it's a great move for them. I don't in that division. It's not hard to win in that division. That's the great thing about it. It's a weak division. Um, so at the end of the day, because you got the coach with no quarterback, you got Houston, and obviously the CJ Stroud situation. It's a it's a winnable situation. It's a winner division. So I think at the end of the day, it's a good move for him. He got to get some pieces obviously on defense to make it work for him. But I think he's all right. I think it's a good move though. What you think?
I hate it because I mentioned last week on the show I wanted him to go into the Raiders. But I'm happy for them. I hope they can
Mm-hmm.
look. I've got Cam Ward on my dynasty team, so I need that team to get
Yeah.
things going and going well. So I think it's a good move. I think he's a good coach. I think he got a bad rap with the Jets because, quite frankly, as it's been shown, nobody can win with the Jets right now.
Nobody.
And the Titans aren't in a great spot right now, but I think there's hope for the future that team can get better. So I think it was a good hire.
Yeah.
I wish it were the Raiders hire, and I'm waiting for the Raiders. Tom Brady, if you're listening, um, you know, make a
Got to
move.
find a coach.
Go ahead and find a coach to go with the greatest quarterback in college football. If you watch that championship game, Fernando is gonna change the
Are you
world for the
really
Raiders.
sold on Fernando?
I am 100% showed on Fournette. Did you see the drive he did when on the fourth down he got hit, smashed between two players, landed in the end zone? It was
I
beautiful.
seen it. That was dope. It was good.
I,
But
I
I'm gonna
would.
tell you what Derek Carr said.
I would have Derek. Yeah,
See what he said?
I
You
did.
see what he said?
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
No,
Hey,
I mean
go
share
ahead.
share with the audience.
He said that he wasn't sold on Fernando
Yeah.
and that the Raiders need more pieces. And I agree with him 100%. If I'm the Raiders, I'm trading back that number one pick to whoever for a multitude of picks because y'all need more than just Fernando. That old
Yeah.
line is not great, but you know, y'all have two pieces: Brock Byers and a running back. That's it. Y'all have
Mm-hmm.
nothing else. Y'all need a bunch of pieces. Man, trade them picks back and get maybe you can find 4 or 5 players that can help the team this year. That draft class is going to be better next year. Now, I'm not saying roll with Gino, obviously. You bring in somebody to compete with Gino
Yeah.
for that. I mean, it could be a Mac Jones. It could be anything. You know, trade for Mac Jones if need be. But let
Hey,
him don't hand him the job, but let him compete for it.
what about the rumors that Lamar Jackson is on the way?
I'll take that too
I don't believe it at all.
because you don't.
Nah, that ain't
Okay,
happening.
I halfway believe it. I'm gonna tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
You know why that John Harbaugh built that offense around around Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
The next coach may not want to build that around him.
Okay, it's a
So
good argument.
I have because that offense is only built because of John Harbaugh, because he built it around Lamar. If you think about every backup they didn't have, he's had a mobile quarterback. Everybody had to be mobile, no matter what, because that's the way the offense was built. It's not built for nothing else. So the next coach that come in there, he may not want, and I'm not saying he don't want Lamar, but he may not want to build an offense around Lamar
Right.
like that. So it's possible. And plus, y'all gonna have to give that number 1 pick anyway for Lamar anyway.
They're gonna have to give up more than the number one pick for Lamar. That's why I don't see it
Oh, of
happening.
course.
I don't think
I would trade back.
I don't think the Raiders are a quarterback away from being good. So
Okay.
from the Raiders standpoint, I like the idea of getting a rookie because you can pay it much like the 49ers, you can pay him a little bit, not as little bit as Brock Purdy was, because you're talking about the number one pick versus the last pick of the draft. So you're gonna have to pay him something,
That's
but
true.
you don't have to pay him as much as you would have to pay a Lamar Jackson. And so they can keep the quarterback costs low and build up everywhere else. Now, the Derek Carr suggestion of trading a pick to get a lot of pieces, I'm okay with that too. But you can't have one of those. You can't tie up a lot of money with a superstar quarterback when you need help literally everywhere around the roster, and the Raiders need help everywhere. So
See, but I'm not. The thing is, I'm not saying tie the money up into a superstar quarterback.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying,
no, you're not saying that. I'm just saying about the Lamar. That's why I don't buy the Lamar
yeah,
Jackson
about the Lamar thing,
thing.
yeah.
I don't buy that
But
because
what I'm saying is,
it's yeah.
I'm bringing honestly, I'm bringing in Mac Jones. Like he has to have some type of competition, and and I'm pretty there's an out in that contract with his deal somewhere in that group in that contract. So at the end of the day, even if you say, all right, Gino, you got to take a pay cut, or we're gonna cut you, or we're gonna bring in somebody to compete for you, it don't matter. At the end of the day, I think if you like, cause y'all need receivers, y'all need old linemen, y'all need corners, DNs, safeties, everything. So if y'all can get pieces throughout the draft to build on this team, and then just say y'all don't play well this year, the
Yeah,
class the next year is way better than this class, and you'll have 5 or 6 quarterbacks available in that next year's draft. Or
right,
just say whatever you put, and Mac Jones just plays well enough to where you don't need to go get no quarterback. You got Mac Jones on the contract.
right,
It's cheaper to put Mac Jones. Well, I ain't gonna say cheaper, but you have an established veteran quarterback in Mac Jones who's seen the NFL over a rookie. So it's possible, So I'm just saying, like, I think it's a thought. That's all I'm saying because you don't know what the next coach want to do. I mean, he looked good. I just don't know, man. It's too many pieces you got to spread out. But I have a question for Sydney though.
uh oh.
I already know what this is about. Come on.
What is it about? Why you always got to do me like that?
Because I'm well aware, but come on, let's bring it. Let's go.
That's why I love her. She's always look. I see y'all brought back y'all old offensive coordinator,
Mm-hmm.
which I love. By the way, I love it. I think it's a great thing. But why now?
Because why not?
I'm just saying because the first time around, and I'm just telling you what they were saying that he wasn't calling plays. It was Andy Reid. So what is going to be different now?
Depends, I don't know what the narrative will be. Depends on how the season goes.
Okay.
I mean, I can't pick that.
No, I'm just asking.
Because it's out. I mean, you're talking about he's coming back with their star quarterback coming back. Who knows when? So, receivers not really there. So, I mean, I can't really say what's going to be the narrative when the offense isn't what it was when he left. So, depends on how the season goes. But I will say this, for him to come back, they must have guaranteed him something they didn't guarantee him before, because I wouldn't have came back for nothing. That's all I'm saying. They had to offer him something that was like really good for him to just come. I mean, I know where he's been. It probably hasn't been great, obviously, because he came back without resistance, at least media wise, how we see it. But it must have been. I know I wouldn't have came back for pennies. Nope.
No, I think they paying him top dollar offense coordinator money.
Well, not even just top dollar. They must have promised him something too. I'm not just saying just
is
the
it
money.
coaching waiting?
Huh?
That's what he was supposed to be the first time, according to many people's thoughts.
What he's supposed to be? What the first time?
Coaching waiting.
Coaching waiting.
This is once again my 2 cents. That's what I think they offered him. Because I wouldn't come back for anything less. To be an offensive coordinator again and nothing else, I wouldn't have came back for that.
Yeah.
You can get. I mean, he's been getting paid. He's had a job since he left, so it had to be more than just money. That's just my 2 cent opinion.
Barbecue.
Oh please. I can get that going home.
I kind of agree with you. I think it's coaching waiting, and they're not gonna put it out there as a coaching waiting type of situation because I don't think Andy Reid wants it out there like that.
No, because they don't want to scare the precious fans.
Yes, and I agree with you on that because I think Andy Reid walks away in the next, just say 2 years.
Yeah, I would say
that's
2
all
years
he got.
max.
That's all
I would say 2 years, and I think he's the coaching waiting because you're right. Why would you come back to a situation where they say you didn't call plays, they cost you? Like, if you want to be totally honest about the situation, I think being said that he didn't call plays cost him jobs.
Oh yeah,
throughout the league, a lot. So for me, I gotta call plays or have some type of input in the game plan weekly, to where I'm getting credit for calling plays, no matter what. And then it's got to be some waiting in the, coaching in the background. Hey, you'll be the first choice as the head coach when Andy retires, because it has to be that for me.
right.
And then it's got to be 10 million, like honestly, for me to even come back.
Yeah. Otherwise, you just stay where you were.
Yeah, I think part of the logic, and by the way, welcome Nita, welcome Louis Bracey to the show. Glad to have y'all with us. I think part of it is the fact of him going to he was with the Lions this past year, and I mean not the Lions. I'm sorry. I was thinking Ben Johnson's last job. He was with the Bears with Ben Johnson, and I think being part of that offense probably made him a little bit more appealing. plus his familiarity with Patrick Mahomes in that offense. Because for some odd reason I can't explain, Matt Nagy is on a lot of people's lists as a potential head coach. I mean, it's like I guess y'all didn't see the Bears like at all when he was the coach of that team, but someone wants to give him another shot, and I think that just opened the door. And since things honestly have been all downhill since Bieniemy left with that offense, they were like, "Hey, maybe this guy deserves a lot more credit." Plus, now he has the Ben Johnson experience to basically make that offense a little, for lack of a better word, a sexier offense. Because one of the things about the Chiefs is that their offense has gotten a little plain, a little dull, if you will. And so you got this guy who already knows the players, already familiar with what they like to do, and now has these new ideas he can bring to the squad. I think it's a good hire. I think it's a really good hire for the Chiefs.
It was a hire they needed.
Yeah, he was someone they needed. And I think the biggest part about it is now I think they might have won the producer back to their side.
Oh, I knew you was going to bring that up. And this is why I didn't like. Okay, so personally, and I'm being so honest about this. This I didn't.
You're a fan. Go ahead. See?
No, I'm not gonna say it. I can't. No,
Not coming back.
No. I was happy. I always like to see my brother man get a job, and I always liked Bieniemy, and I always thought he should always got more credit than he deserved. Always thought that. When he left, I was like, yes, finally he's gonna get whatever. Didn't happen like that. So when I saw the alert that he was going back to the Chiefs, and I gotta say it this way, and forgive me for saying what I'm about to say, but I was like, damn, no, why? Crap. And I'm being completely honest, I was very, very upset by it because it puts me in a really bad place. I still do not like the Chiefs. I am being so honest about that right now. But I don't want to bet against bruh man being hired back. So I do not know what to do with that right now.
You gotta love.
No, I don't. I don't have to love that at all. I only gotta love Jesus.
Well,
I'm just saying. Look, the Chiefs don't pay me to be a fan. I ain't got a check from Kansas City Chiefs as of yet. They sending me a check in the mail? No, they ain't sent me no check, so I don't have to be a fan. I know I'm from there. It's in my blood, born and raised. You know, my mom, whatever. I get it. But I'm torn. So I can't, I have no words for that.
Well, I look at it this way. I think as a Chiefs fan, I guess if you look at it from a bright spot, just say he's the coach in waiting. That's even like from your perspective. I think you would like that if they were to come out and say he's the coach in waiting, and when Andy Reid is gone, you would like that even more because the brother is getting a chance to be a head coach, which he never really got a chance to be a head coach nowhere because of the situation initially.
There's a lot of other things at play for me that they have to do as the team for me to get back on board. And it's a laundry list of things, won't go into it, but it's got to be more than just hiring that man.
But that should at least be one step. They maybe took one step in the right direction.
It's like this big of a step. It's not enough. Right now, it's not enough for me. I'm not sold. It takes a lot for me to, once I get off, it takes a lot for me to come back. And just because I hired him back, that's not enough for me. I need more. Because there's another crucial piece to this whole Chiefs thing that needs to be done. And I have a feeling that that piece isn't going to get done like I want to. And so, therefore, that's going to be a problem.
Well, we'll go to another team, but I guess we'll leave it at your opinion once lost is lost forever. There are like 4 people out in the audience that caught that.
Oh, goodness, you have watched too many movies with me.
All right, So let's talk. Let's talk about I saw the Ravens come up in the comments again. They have yet to hire a coach. We did mention the possibility of Lamar Jackson leaving, which I don't think is going to happen. Do you have? Yeah, you coughing now? I'm coughing.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, it's over like
So,
99% good right now.
do you have a Ravens favorite
Um,
for their next coach?
the problem, like the Ravens, I think the Ravens, and then you talking about it, the Ravens job, I think Pittsburgh job are probably
Best
the best
jobs.
jobs
Yeah.
right now. Because it comes with an automatic longevity rule
Mm-hmm.
where you're gonna probably spend minimum 10 years there. So you're gonna get your chance to be successful.
Yeah.
I think whoever comes in and is the coach, they have to be able to build an offense around Lamar.
Yeah.
And that's probably the holdup on them naming a coach right now anyway, because a lot of them probably want to come in and obviously they want to keep Lamar, but they don't know how to use Lamar. And I think that's the problem. I think they're gonna probably name their offensive coordinator the coach. To be honest with you, the one that he's been there for a couple of years. I think that's probably the right choice because you know Lamar, you know the team.
The offensive coordinator didn't go with Harbaugh the
I don't
Giants.
think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I'm not sure. So
Can't remember. But
Todd, is it Todd Monkey?
yeah,
Something
something
like
like that.
Yeah. I think it's Todd Monkey, I want to say.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Okay. But I think he's probably the perfect person for that job because he not first of all, he's been the offensive coordinator for Lamar for the last 3 years, 4 years or whatever. So it's like he know Lamar. So in order to get the best out of Lamar, he know how to use him.
Mm-hmm.
So me personally, I don't know who would take that job. It's a good job though.
I one name I did read. I don't buy it, but I saw Brian Flores' name floated around, and that would go up for a good defensive coach for that team. Which that's where the Ravens have fallen apart to me. That defense used to, be intimidating. They used to be like Seattle's or Denver's defense is now, and they don't have that going forward.
Well, you know what I do like about Brian Flores getting opportunities? I think a lot of people are looking past that court case that he has against the NFL. So I do kind of like that he is. He may not get a job. I did read. Minnesota extended his contract today in case he didn't get a job.
I will say that if I'm Minnesota, I'm doing everything I can to keep him there because he has that defense popping.
Well, they did say that the extension is in place.
Yeah.
And if KC doesn't get a job, he can come back to it. But to me, I think Brian Flores is think about it. He wasn't wrong about Tua.
Oh no. I mean, look.
He wasn't wrong about Tua. I don't care what nobody say. They can sit here and cry all they want to, and he said Tua was soft. He wasn't good. Da da da. But he wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong. I say this, and I say the same thing about Antonio Pierce, who was another good defensive coach. I don't think they gave these coaches chances to make mistakes. I think the way Flores handled the situation with Tua was wrong, but he was 100% right in his assessment. I'm with you.
Yes, he was.
He was right, but he was wrong with how it happened. But he won't wrong on what he was doing. So I hope someone else would give him another shot at it.
I mean, Antonio Pierce is a great candidate for that Baltimore.
And I know he did some interview. He was interviewing with the Giants, but I didn't take that one seriously. Anyway, so maybe someone else gives him an interview with a real chance of picking him up.
But again, I think Todd Monken is probably the best one. I don't see, and the thing is, I don't see a college, like somebody put in the comments, a college coach. Yeah. I don't think a college coach comes in there. And the only one I do probably see is the one from Notre Dame. That's it. Other than that, I don't really see any other
him being good.
coming in doing anything worthy of like taking that job, honestly.
Cool.
So for me, I don't see it. Now I got a question. Mike McDonald is the offensive coordinator
Chargers.
for the Chargers. Now, and this is a two-part question: fantasy, real life. Does that change your mind on Justin
That's
Herbert in fantasy, and how does that affect Justin Herbert in real life?
I thought Justin Herbert was changing my mind at the beginning of this past season because
Okay.
that was an offense that we had talked about before in the off season. I was like, oh, this is going to be just run the ball all day and all night. They showed a willingness to pass the ball around, and I think that gets even higher with McDaniel there. So I'm all in
Okay.
on Justin Herbert next year. I think it's going to be a good move for fantasy football and real life until the playoffs when Justin Herbert would choke like he always does. But for
Right.
fantasy purposes, I don't care about I don't care about any of that. But I think it's a really good move for them.
Mhm.
I think it's going to be a really good move. I'm interested to see if he puts that pizzazz on that offense like it is. Because one thing about Miami, you can't argue that at least until it went downhill near the end, that offense was good. And you can say it's because they had Waddle and Tyreek Hill and Achan
Yeah,
there. They had track stars everywhere on that offense.
that's
Don't
true.
quite have that situation with the Chargers, but I think they've got enough talent there that offense should be really good. I'm trying to think, where do I put Justin Herbert? He's always top 10. Do I
Yeah.
slide him closer to 5? Probably not. Probably like 6, 7
Mm,
at the most for me.
okay.
Because I usually see Justin Herbert as like a 8, 9 guy, but I'm willing to push him up to like 6,
Mm,
7.5.
okay.
Where do you have him now with this new offensive
um,
coordinator?
I've seen Tua throw for 4,700 yards
Mm,
in that offense that he had. Obviously,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're gonna let him run the offense according
yeah.
to wherever you run it. So let's just say he runs his offense right. I'm saying 5 to 8,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, and that's flexible a little bit, honestly, because if you can do 5, 6, 7, 8, it just depends on who else is there.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking about that offense, because I take it back to this, our offense hasn't looked the same since he left,
Yeah.
and he's been gone what 4 or 5 years now, maybe give or
Mm-hmm.
take. So our offense hasn't looked quite the same from a passing point of view in a long time since he left. And he was kind of the one that was designing the plays. Shanahan, yes, is also a part of that, but I think Mike McDaniel had a hand in also calling those or coming up with those plays. So, and you've seen it done in Miami also. So he
Mm-hmm.
made sure what he was until it was not enough. So I think I'm saying 5 to 8, somewhere between that.
I
Because
think that's
again,
fair.
you got to look at all the injured quarterbacks coming in that's not going to start the season, and you want somebody that's going to play from week one, obviously. So at the end of the day, he's going to slide in that 5 to 8 anyway, just because of injuries. Not even Mike McDaniels, but just because of injuries in general.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's the way it worked. Now, I do this question, and we talked about it last week about Atlanta hiring Stefanski, right? And the more I think about this, right, they brung over the offensive coordinator today from that same Cleveland team, right? Does that affect Bijan in any way?
I would say we've seen some superstar running backs be successful no matter who was there.
Mm-hmm.
B. John to me is just 2 times. There's some things you can't get wrong. how many years was Saquon Barkley with those Giants teams that couldn't get anything right, but Saquon still ate because he's
Okay.
Saquon. I see Bijan as that kind of talent. He's gonna eat no matter what. You can't convince me right now Stefanski's gonna turn that thing around. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he deserves those Coach of the Year awards, and he's going to get there. But I think he loses, and I think you mentioned this last week. He loses the respect from his players. He can't get
The locker room.
he's not he can't get the locker room together. Right. I don't think he's that guy. And maybe I'm judging him too harshly off Cleveland, where also I said nobody can be successful with the Jets. Can't really be successful with the Browns right now either. I don't know if the Falcons are that much of a step up. Take away the Michael Vick years and the Matty Ice years.
What have they been?
And how many Super Bowls did either of those get them? 0. So I'm not good. I think they have a lot of talent on that team that maybe he can get some wins, but I don't see the foul. There's some things I don't take seriously, and part of it has to be Arthur Blank for me as an owner.
Yeah, I just don't understand that.
I just don't see it working. Is my synopsis.
So I feel like you bring in Matty Ice, no experience, right? And I'm gonna touch on another subject because we're not afraid to talk about certain things when it comes to black and white, racial, whatever. Call it what it is, right? Cam made a statement. How does Matty Ice get a job with no experience ever in that position?
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying it's easier for those guys to get them than it is for just say a Cam Newton, right? Say Carolina called Cam and said, "Hey, we want you to be the general manager. We think you got good knowledge of sports.
Never happened.
Football knowledge, and we think you can bring in the right players and get these guys going, bringing the right people to coach." Is that ever going to happen?
It will happen, I think. But that's all. Look, it's the same thing with hiring coaches. There's the what do they call it? The good old boys club. I might be mixing it up. I think it's the same situation. Right. We can switch sports and say, how did Steve Kerr get his first job coming from analyst over to being the coach of the Golden State Warriors? How did JJ Redick get his job?
Right.
You go with certain guys, they just have it, and we won't go with it is specifically. But Cam ain't got it. I'm trying to think of because he says that black players don't get that same, at least to like a president of the. You've seen coaches. You've seen coaches, but I'm trying to think. Is there someone I think could get that nod to be like the president of operations?
I don't think so.
I'm trying to think of names who might get that call somewhere, sort of like a John Elway did. And my brain is going immediately to quarterbacks because quarterbacks are the smartest guys in the room.
Let's pull a name.
Well, let me pull a name for you first. Let me see. Do you think Russell Wilson is safe enough of a pick that he could get a job like that?
I think he's more safe from a clean perspective.
Yeah, that's the view I'm taking.
Yeah, that's but again, that's the only view they're gonna look at.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not afraid to talk about this. You're not either. So at the end of the day, we gonna talk about it. But what I'm saying is they will take a clean cut Russell Wilson over just say a
Marshawn Lynch, for instance.
Just say exactly Marshawn Lynch. But if you set both of them down, blank slate, put some in front of them, and you ask football questions.
Football knowledge.
I would believe that Marshawn Lynch has more. I ain't gonna say more football knowledge, but I believe he can get you more out of a coaching staff, players, and things of that nature than a Russ would. And
Yeah,
not saying Russ is that a bad guy. I'm
yeah,
just saying,
yeah. But you have to have a certain je ne sais quoi, if you will, if you're gonna get this. Let me ask you about a guy, because I'm trying to think of guys who have went from athlete to maybe not coaching or anything, but to take the Matt Ryan path
yeah.
to someone who's in broadcasting. What do you think? I'm gonna throw two names at you, Nate Burleson, and then I'm gonna throw your guy Richard Sherman.
Yeah. I feel like Richard Sherman could be anybody's front office.
Yeah.
Nate Burleson the same way.
He's a Stanford guy if I remember correctly, so he's got it up here.
But again, you got to look at, and I hate using Russ in this situation, but it's like you have to, in a sense, because we know Richard Sherman from being that don't throw my way because I'm the best cornerback in the
Yeah.
league attitude to where he's been in trouble with the law a few times. He's had some domestic violence issues, things of that nature.
Yeah.
They're gonna penalize a person like him, no matter how smart he is. He's gonna get penalized every time for that, just because they say, "Oh, look what he did here," or "Look what he did here."
Yeah, those are good points. I sort of get the feeling that much like Snoop Dogg, Richard Sherman is overhauling his image, public image, in a way that he's the Amazon guy with that crew on Thursday nights. I think maybe he's rehabbed it enough that he could get maybe some, like you said, there are some points against.
But even if I can just say, even if they Nate Burleson, Richard Sherman, and I got one I think that probably would work, even though he's to be loved by everybody, but I think he would get a front office job before anybody, to be honest with you. And that's backup quarterback, Tampa Bay, playing for the Giants now. Oh, what is his name? I was just talking about him earlier.
Playing for the Giants now, Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston.
Okay.
Jameis Winston will probably get a job as a front office person before any of those guys because he's beloved a little bit more.
If he's not in broadcasting, that man's gonna be a preacher.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm just saying,
right.
and then I think he will, but I just feel like
he has that great personality. I will.
He has that great personality that they look for. Because for me, right, I don't think, like, to me, Manning wouldn't be a great vice president or president.
I see Manning as sort of a Michael Jordan, just so good that I don't know if he can see the errors. And I was like, this is one. Some guys are just completely there. Here and just so doggone talented that it doesn't. They're on a different stratosphere than other players, and I can see him being very frustrated in that job. I think Eli could do the job better than Peyton Manning could, not because of the knowledge isn't there, but Eli wasn't as gifted. Even though we have the same number of Super Bowls, he wasn't to me as gifted as Peyton. And sometimes sometimes you don't want the best at their position ever because they can't relate to regular earthly players when they're that high up. So
I mean, if you're thinking about it, Tom Brady's in a situation now to where he's in that situation as a.
We'll see. I'm not happy so far.
No. A / whatever you want to call it, owner, broadcaster, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But he's now in a situation where he's going to get judged how he does with this draft class coming up and further down the line. Because if he don't succeed with the Raiders, he's going to look like he's not a competent front office person. Now, I would say this, I feel like the Matt Ryans and the Tom Bradys are going to get a longer leash. Even if somebody like Detroit was to hire Nate Burleson tomorrow to work in the front office, that leash would be so short on what he could do and how many mistakes he make
Yeah.
within a window of 2 to 3 years. If he don't put a winning team together, it's a 2 years, they gonna cut him just because of you haven't produced anything. And it ain't right. It's just like black coaches get fired every year after 1 year because you didn't win this year, so we're gonna fire you. Or I don't like talking like stuff like this, but it got to be said. If you bring in a coach that say got a quarterback that he ain't fixable, but you go get another one and they claim to fix him, how about you give that chance to that same coach that was fixing him? Brian Flores as a prime example.
Yeah.
Tua was not fixable at all.
It's been 2 coaches that have tried. Both gave up. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I just think Cam hit a spot where people
It's an interesting point. Yeah.
people don't really want to talk about it, but it is. Like Cam, because of the way he acts, he would never get a phone call from Carolina saying we need you to be the president. Never.
He can't get a call from me based off his wardrobe. Like anyone who picks those clothes out of a closet and wears them, you can't manage my team.
He picks them. That's the crazy
exactly.
part.
Like nah.
But you know what? I can't judge a man by his clothes, and I ain't gonna do it. You know,
I will. I'll be the judge.
I feel like he has great. I ain't gonna say great football knowledge, but I think he has good enough football knowledge to tell you what a team. Because really, that's all you need. Like you need somebody to say, "Hey, we need to get a tackle this year. We need to get a left guard this year. We need to get a quarterback this year. We need to make decisions to where it works out, not for now, but the long run." That's how you run a team.
I could see it, but for my own selfish need, I kind of want Cam to stay in the lane he's in because I would say that he is one of the most interesting voices as far as broadcast because he is not afraid to mention the stuff like you just brought up. He's not afraid to be controversial, and he's one of the people that I find always interesting when they talk. We talked about Josh Allen earlier. He had a whole spill on how Josh Allen is getting this pass continuously, and the coach gets fired when really you can point a finger squarely at his inability to produce during the playoffs because
I love that about
and that's something that you don't see a lot of people saying. So I like Cam where he is only because I like interesting, and right now, and especially to me in the NFL, you got too many people saying the exact same thing and not willing to really challenge, I guess, the status quo or the mainstream thought. So shout out to Cam for being
I think
different.
nobody. You're right. They try to. They're too afraid of what they're gonna lose.
Yeah.
And I think that's to me. You in any media setting, like honestly, we're media, right? Like in a sense, we're lower media that talks about sports. That's what we do. We talk about sports on YouTube, but we can't be afraid to talk about the story, about what's really going on. Like you can't be afraid because somebody's not gonna like you on YouTube. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, if you're stating facts, that's all that matters. And what he does, he states, for him to go on that rant about Josh Allen, I can appreciate that because nobody else was gonna do that.
Yeah.
Because they was gonna say, "Oh, it was the coach's fault." But again, we talked about it earlier. They'll kill C.J. Stroud, who's been in the league for 3 years, but they won't kill a guy that's been in the league for 9 years. Make it make sense. It don't add up. Something's wrong there.
Another one would be Lamar Jackson, who always gets the criticism for he can't produce in the playoffs. And last I checked, he and Josh Allen had the same number of Super Bowls.
0.
None whatsoever.
So what are we saying here? It makes no sense. So,
what else? You got any other news stories? You want to talk? I've let you go this whole show without bringing it up. Do you want to talk about Caleb Williams and that dynamic pass. They lost the game, but that
Beautiful
pass that
pass.
he made to end at the end of that game was legendary. It's sad that they lost.
They
Do
lost, but
you like me blame Ben Johnson for being too much of a gambler and going back to the days with the Lions and Dan Campbell also being a big gambler? I'm starting to wonder, was it Ben Johnson doing all that gambling? Because he made a couple of gambles in that game this past week that I'm like, dude, take the 3 points and
well,
maybe we win.
the problem with today's NFL is they don't use their brain. They use
Analytics, yes.
and that's the whole issue. Analytics tell you, oh, we should go for it on 4th down because we're on the 45-yard line and we need a half a yard. No, punt it. Or we at the 30-yard line, we should kick it. We should go for it. No, kick a field goal. Take the points. Because if you think about most games, right, you either lose by 3 or 2. And the 3 points that you could have kicked instead of going against analytics, you would have been tied or you would have won the game. Like, it don't make sense. And most coaches nowadays, they go off analytics. They don't go off. Just use your brain and kick a field goal. That's why these young coaches, i.e. him, really go against, like, you would never see Andy Reid go, oh, I'm gonna use analytics and not kick a field goal right. It just don't work that way.
I say if he had taken just one of those opportunities to kick the field goal, the Bears win that game.
Thank you.
So, and they should have won that game. But I will say on one thing, I blamed you for us losing at the top of the show. If I let you pick that particular game, we would have gotten it right. So
I just told you, but you love Caleb so much.
I love Caleb even more. Caleb, I saw him making this Chicago tour after that loss. That man owns the city already.
I'm not mad at that.
And I would say easily he's the best quarterback the Bears have had. And I know that's a low bar because they have not really had good quarterbacks.
Lord mercy.
That's like I'm the tallest man in this house. Well, obviously.
But, I mean, look, if that's the bar he got to meet, he already beat.
He beat that bar, so I'm hoping for bigger and better things in the years to come.
Honestly, I hope he get better next year. I hope so. Like
he's still got a lot to learn.
That interception was a little. I don't know what the play was called.
Apparently, he and DJ Moore were not on the same page. Obviously, I don't know.
DJ Moore's gonna leave.
I don't know. Yeah, I was hoping that they was putting something together where he would stay, but I'm with you. I think he might be gone.
DJ Moore's gone.
If you need a home, DJ Moore, the Raiders need a wide receiver. I'm just putting it out there. DJ, if you watch the show, if you're a fan of R&J, like I know you are, come on to the Raiders. You can play with Fernando Mendoza.
Go play with Geno Smith.
Oh, Lord. I think we need to go.
Oh, so that's what did it for the night, huh?
It.
All right.
Go play with Geno.
Anyway, people.
Hey, look, if I gotta play with Purdy, you gotta play with Geno.
I would rather have Purdy than Geno in a heartbeat.
You can have it.
Now, hold on, wait. I need the whole offense built around Purdy for it to work out.
No.
Not just Purdy. Not just Purdy by himself.
For a 5th round pick, easy. 5th round pick. He ain't worth anything more than that.
I don't think John Lynch is gonna let that fly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. At any rate, everybody, good luck to you, not with your fantasy football teams, but with your picks for these conference championships. You've seen ours. We're going with the underdogs in both games. We're going with the Rams and we're going with the Patriots. And actually, I don't know whether the Patriots are actually underdog. I haven't looked at the point spread, but they are the lower seed. They shouldn't be the underdogs.
It's okay.
Let me rephrase it. We're going with the lower seeds in both games.
Yes.
We're going
They
with
probably got a 10-point spread on that game.
We're going with the Rams and the Patriots. Ms. Byrd's team is going with the higher seeds in both of them. They're going with all number 1 seeds, Broncos and Seahawks. We're up by 1, but we'll see whether we still have that lead when we get back. We won't be on next week because, as you all know, there's a break in between the conference championships and the Super Bowl. So we'll be off next Wednesday, but we'll be back the following Wednesday with our Super Bowl picks. And like I said, we got to put a Super Bowl gift together for Ms. Byrd's class to thank them for their kindness with doing it. We want to kick their butts, but we love the kids regardless. We want them to do well. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. And if you're in one of those snow areas, be careful out there. And we'll see you guys when we get back.
Peace.
Peace out.